the hardest part of my process is forming the image in my mind and what I want it to say and how. So before anything happens on the canvas or in the studio even, there's a lot of just, honestly, just sitting around thinking, what's this next painting going to be about and how am I going to say it and what images I'm going to use to get the symbolism that I want it to have.
This particular panel is the moment in Hieronymus Bosch's painting where God introduces Eve to Adam, and Adam's actually seated and he brings Eve and presents her to him. In my painting, I've switched the gender roles, and in this sense, I'm saying at the same time that yes, Sean is our provider, he provides for us, and this is, I guess, a show of my love for him, as well as a defiance that I'm not going to accept, the limited parameters that are expected from women. This section of the painting for me is real in celebration. It's the abundance that they give to me and the things that I hope for them as well. The white is symbolic for purity, innocence, so it's reserved for them, for the children. It's also just a point of visual difference. I think it can be quite interesting to have, something really rendered quite photographically and then just flat white right next to it. This panel here, if we're talking about creation and then life, here we come to death, and here is guilt, and here is where I punish myself, or perhaps revel in the sin, whichever way you want to see it. But with death comes rebirth. So you've got the bushfire trees, there are trees in the background that have been burnt in a bushfire, but you've got the grass trees that usually sprout. That's how you know there's some healthy regeneration. But the rest of the scene comes from an underwater scene from The Little Mermaid. If you look closely, this is the moment in The Little Mermaid where all the fish sing a big song about you should accept who you are, you should appreciate the qualities that you have in your identity. They're trying to convince Ariel that it's really great being a mermaid and living under the sea, but then she's not even there, she just didn't listen to the story. So that moment is quite poignant to me because I find that I'm often longing to be part of a group, or just longing to be something that I'm inherently just not, or wanting to be part of a group where I just don't belong. So that's what that's about. And if we're talking about the original sin of Adam and Eve, and if we're all born with the sin, then we are only absolved from it once we're baptized, and to be baptized you need water. And so this here is sort of that baptism, that atonement.
This is my first institutional show. It is the largest show to date of my career. I'll be showing for the first time my largest, singular piece of work, my most ambitious work. It's all very deeply personal work, and I've had no activity really for the last 2 years, so there's a lot weighing on this show.